Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode where we continue to share a very important skill which is going to help you along the path towards finding your property in the Baja Sur, and that is using the MLS search on your free account at reloadedbaja.com, where we hope to help you find the answer to, will I find a property I love within my budget? And to help teach this important skill, we're going to go step by step searching for properties in $100,000 increments until we reach $1 million. And we'll finish this 12-part series with two final episodes of searches, one for under 1.5 million and the other for under $2 million. And during this series, we will be touching on different areas and towns in Baja Sur, from La Paz to Los Cabos, from the Pacific to the Sea of Cortez, including the original capital of all the Californias, Loreto. So make sure you have your cup of coffee and let's get started. Now, in the previous episodes, we did under $100,000 where we only found 5 properties, and then we went on to go from $101,000 to $200,000. And in that episode, we discovered that there are 163, I believe that's the right number, 163 total listings between $101,000 and $200,000. So this is actually a bonus episode. When we reduced it between 100 to 150,000, we found about 40 properties and we selected some from there to research. And today we're going to do $150,001 to $200,000. Now, I suspect there's going to be quite a few there, about 120 in that $50,000 range. So we're going to do some extra filtering to reduce that. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. So again, we want to go to the website reloadtobaja.com. If you're new to the website and you don't have an account, please feel confident to share your name, your email address, and your phone number. We will only use this information to reach out to you directly. That is it. It's primarily used exclusively by myself, by me. And we don't share it, we don't sell it, we don't do anything else with it other than provide you service and attention. That's it. So that said, if you already have an account, should it ask you to log in, which if you've already used it on your device before, it shouldn't. Just use your email address. That's about it. It'll make it simple for you to use. So once you're at Reload to Baja, you go here to MLS search and you click property search. This will take you to the general property search. And let's scroll down a little bit here. And this is where we get to manipulate these fields that help you establish your search criteria. So to recap this again, if you want to skip ahead to when we finally get to the properties, we're going to put in a little marker so you can just go straight to there. But Baja California Sur is the entire state of Baja California Sur, or South, as it's called. And we cover an area from Loreto down to Los Cabos, and from the Sea of Cortez to the Pacific Ocean. So it's quite a big area. We're going to make sure that this time we're typing in $150,001, because we don't want the properties that were coming up at 150,000 to pop back up again. And $200,000. We'll type in any, make sure that that's there. And there it is, 123,000. We've already got these two property types selected. And we are going to, this is where we're going to use the more for the first time. I shared with you previously that if you're too detailed with your search criteria, you might miss out on some properties that were not uploaded into the MLS with that much detail. Unfortunately, not all listing agents are the same. Some are more detail oriented than others. Therefore, it's recommended when you're doing your searches to be as broad as you possibly can and focus only on those broad brushstrokes. Yes, it does require you to have to do some hand filtering, but it'll pay off in the long run. That said, in this example, because we're already at 123 results, and we want to reduce that as much as possible, ideally, when I work with you, I make sure that you don't receive more than 45 odd results per emailing. And so here what we're going to do is we're going to add under view description, ocean view. I mean, again, as you've heard me say before, you're not going to come all this way, not to go all the way and get a view. We all want to have a nice view. And by doing this, now keep this in mind, I put this at, the only thing that I did, I kept this on any beds, any baths, and all I did was just add a view, ocean view, and it came up with these 34 results. And we're sorting from high to low in this example here. And as you can see, well, let's go through them real quick. Where are they? We've already had a chance to go to places like in Loreto, La Paz. We've been in between the East Cape, Los Barriles, La Ribera, in areas, and San Jose del Cabo, in areas like Miraflores, as an example, which is a little more rural and inland, and Cabo San Lucas and San Jose. So we've seen some stuff in those areas. And as you continue to find, Cabo San Lucas will have the majority of these listings because it still is the gateway to this destination. Whether you've been here and you've already, most folks who discover the other surrounding areas like Todos Santos, Pescaderos, Cerritos, or again, the East Cape, La Ribera, Los Barriles, La Ventana, El Sargento, as an example, is because they first got here visiting Cabo San Lucas. So it is a great destination to continue to purchase in and invest. Oh, but here's Cerritos. You know what? So let's take a look. We haven't really hit up the Pacific side yet. So let's take a look at that one. But I was just wondering about this one. Oh, I know where this is located. Camino Viejo. All right. Cerritos. Let's take a look at this one. So this is our first listing that we found in Cerritos so far. I wonder where this one's at. It says Pacific. So let's take a look at that one as well. That's just at the $200,000 price point. Cabo Corridor. Yeah, I know where these are located. If there are any properties that you're interested in knowing more about, please feel free to put it in the comments or shoot us a message. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Okay. And of course, if you have any specific questions about any areas or price points or changes in the marketplace, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to reach out to you and answer all of your questions in detail. All right. Oh, looks like we got a little visitor. Let's see here. Oh, this is another one on the Pacific. We've already got two. I'm trying to find something else here. So it looks like we're getting some more on the Pacific side. I see something in La Paz. That's interesting. See if anything really kind of catches my attention to share with you guys. We talked about fractional ownership in our last video as well. And you know what? I'm going to talk about fractional again by touching base on this one. This is here in Cabo San Lucas, Oceana. So that I did kind of mention that one, although we looked at these over here, which are in Villa La Estancia on the main beach. This is farther up on a hill called El Tizal. So we're going to talk a little bit about that one today. Let's see what else I can find you guys. That's fun. We've got 3 so far. Let's pick some other ones. We've got one in Cabo. We got one. Let's check this one out. It looks kind of sexy. That's La Paz, La Paz. Keep going. Cabo Corridor. Yep, that's basically it. So let me see. I'll pick one final one. I think it was over here. I'll pick it for you guys. We'll just do another Cerritos one. Okay. So let's take a look at these. And we'll start with that one. This is in Cerritos. All right. So again, go to the map, hit hybrid or hybrid. Okay. And if you're not too familiar with Cerritos, Cerritos is a small little beach area located in between Cabo San Lucas and Todos Santos. Todos Santos is what's known as a pueblo mágico or magic town of historic significance in the country. Todos Santos is where there's like an oasis right there, and used to be a big producer of sugarcane back in the day. And they even had a small little port in an area right there off of Punta Lobos, which is a great place to go hiking nowadays. And Cabo San Lucas is here at the bottom. So in between Todos Santos and Cabo San Lucas is Cerritos Beach. It is right next to a small little town called Pescadero. So it's really more like an area of Pescadero, so to speak, but it's already gotten a lot of notoriety. It's a great surf break. It's one of the most easiest surf breaks to surf off of. Great place to learn to surf if you're not a big surfer yet. Okay, and Pescadero itself is more of a farming community back in the day originally, and still is. Has a lot of farming, as you can see with all this green here. So it's become a bit of a farm to table area here with these restaurants, very healthy, organic foods and whatnot. And so again, this is Pescadero right here. There's a little hillside that separates it from Cerritos, which is over here. Now, Cerrito has a bit of a sense of off-grid living in that there is no municipal water grid yet. There are a lot of what are called water wells, and you can get your water trucked in. Electricity is definitely here, so it's not an issue. So it's kind of like a half on, half off grid scenario. And the property we're looking at specifically, this is like the most popular section of Cerritos Beach right here. And now there's even beach clubs. Let's see if I can zero in a little bit right here. There's now beach clubs that have started popping up around here, which are great to go to and have fun, play great music. Some of them have live DJs throughout the course of the week, throughout the course of the day. There's volleyball events, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so this particular property is found right at as this hill starts to go up. You have a little bit of a what do you call it, incline right there, elevation. Let's take a look at the property in a little more detail. 189,000. Obviously, it looks like these are two-story condo buildings. That these look like they share a common wall here. That looks like a common wall. Could be adjoining, but it looks like a common wall to me. This is definitely an adjoining wall, but this over here, I don't know, could be also an adjoining wall. Maybe from the angle, it looks like common. But if it's like this, then you're looking at basically two-story townhouses with a condo on one floor and a condo on the second floor is what we're looking at right here. Let me see if there's any. One bedroom, one full bath, 570 square feet. So it's not as inexpensive as one would expect it to be on the Pacific side in an area that's still developing. And that is because of its popularity and its size. The destination is fairly small. And it is very popular. Again, a great beach break. So if you like to have that surfer feel, walk to the beach experience, this is definitely it. And because of its location, you may be able to conserve these views, although there is a lot directly in front of it. Who knows, right? They could build something there, and it looks like they've already walled it off for something. As an example, this construction here is already blocking some of what would have been the original views kept by these here. So let's take a look at it. And at this price point, we're looking at a ground floor condominium. Again, one bedroom for just under 600 square feet. Let's take a look. There it is. But this does give you a sense of the elevation. It's quite steep. There you go. This is the common areas with their own pool. It looks like they got a little bar area here, which is really nice. These could be additional condos with their own private roofs. Those are the ones that are choice, right? They have some guaranteed views there potentially. But this would make a phenomenal Airbnb rental for sure, without a doubt. And, a lot of folks are trying to hit that magical 1% per month return on their purchase. That would put you at about just $1,900 per month. I believe that would be possible. Definitely, if you wanted to do a monthly rental, for sure, I think you can definitely do that. And if you look at it again, in a destination like this, if we were to go with, let's say, a 60% penetration out of a 30 day month, 18 nights out of the month, to get that $1,900. What was the price on that again? Yeah, 180,000. 190,000. Yeah, I think it's definitely doable to get $100 a night for this place and enjoy that destination. Yeah, for sure. Right. And obviously, you can play around with those numbers, maybe do a little bit better in your marketing, get deeper penetration, maybe go up to 20 nights out of the month and reduce the price slightly and still be able to make that 1% gross per month. Right. All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, this one is, what did it say here? La Paz. So let's go back to the map. Let's take a look at where this one is located. So La Paz, as a reminder to you, is the capital of Baja California South. And it looks like this property is virtually not in the dead center, but virtually, in the center of the city. And La Paz does boast a lot of ecotourism and a wonderful, wonderful boardwalk, what they call the Malecon, which starts just about right here where this marina is located, and it goes on for what seems like miles to the north. It's great for long walks. If you like to run, if you like to skateboard or even roller skate, ride a bicycle, it is awesome. Truly, truly, truly awesome. And La Paz does have some of the most beautiful beaches, I believe, in the world, potentially. But I don't know. I want you guys to come down and take a look at it for yourself. Give us your opinion. If you've been to La Paz, let us know what you think about La Paz in the comments. Give us your opinion about La Paz. And let's take a look at these details. Now, first of all, it says pre-sale. So this is a pre-construction property. It is a condominium with a private rooftop for each unit. It's featuring 2 bedrooms, 1 full bathroom. Okay, terrace is equipped with a hot tub, jacuzzi, pergola, barbecue area. That sounds pretty awesome, doesn't it? I mean, 2 bedrooms, 1 full, 1 partial. I will have to caution that if you're looking at pre-construction property, make sure you're working with an experienced real estate agent that will help you through the private promise to purchase agreement via a trust or an escritura, depending on if you're a foreigner or if you are a Mexican national. Make sure that you know who the builder, who the developer is, where they're getting their financing from. This is very, very important. Yes, it can happen in the States, it can happen in Canada, and it can happen in Mexico, where you get involved in a pre-construction property and it does not get completed. You do not want to have that experience. So they put very few pictures in here. They're nice renders. But yeah, we want to know a little bit more. Now, good point for you guys to know is that right now, historically, we are having the highest number of listings under $1 million, unlike ever before. We've broken the $2,500 listing mark. We've never had that historically in the 20 plus years that I've been here. And I believe even before that, as far as listings are concerned. And about half of that are resales and half of that are pre-construction properties such as this one. So there is a lot of resales unlike ever before. So I would call this our first actionable buyer's market. We did have the conditions of a buyer's market after the 2008 market crash, but due to how money was moving around during that time frame, there really was not a lot of action. So that's why I call this our first actionable buyer's market in our history of this market here in the Baja Sur. All right, so this brings us to Fractional Residence Club, Oceana. Now, this is beautiful. I've been in these condos. They're very spacious, high ceilings, lots of light. There's a pool in front of every tower, is what they do. Covered parking underground. There's a spa, gymnasium. All of this is part of this community by a Spanish developer that is moving forward with this property. Very, very sexy, very nice. What's there to complain about? And the views are just amazing. One of the features here, as you can see with this image, is that you have these balconies where there's no columns and you just have these gorgeous, it almost makes you feel like you're on a cruise ship on land, almost, right? It's quite elegant, I would say. Now that's $159,000. These condos, full ownership. So not every tower is fractional ownership, if that's a concern of yours. Only one tower, I believe, right now is being offered for fractional ownership. The other towers are full ownership, and obviously they get to enjoy their own pools. So you're getting to have the experience of a full ownership owner here at a fraction of the cost. This is truly deeded and titled to you, okay, for $159,000, a 3-bedroom, 4-bath condominium in Cabo San Lucas with these amazing views of Land's End, and where you can see the Lovers Beach. As you can see, right, that's Lovers Beach right there. The famous arch is right there. This is the Cape of San Lucas as they're portraying in this rendering. They could have done a little better job with those images, but here we go. All right, let's go back to this. And to give you an idea of where this property is located, let's head to the map. It's got some really nice height. I will tell you that much. Let's go here. So just to pull out a little. All right. So here is your coastline. This is the Cape of San Lucas. This is where the main beach is located. The public parking for the main beach is right here. As we zoom in, this is where Home Depot Fresco is at. That is a supermarket. Home Depot, there's also a Vinoteca, which is a wine and spirits location. There's doctor's offices right here. There's a hospital right across the street. And the location is right up this road, which is 100% paved. Everything is paved all the way up to the very top of this hillside. It has a nice incline. And if you notice this right here, this is a gated community called Cresta del Mar, filled with properties well over $1 million, going into the millions, plural. That's your immediate neighbor south of you. Most of these homes are 2-story homes. So again, the views here are very well protected, unobstructed. There are some condo developments going on over here on this side. You can kind of see the squares of where these will be built, but these go downhill in this direction as well. So you will be protected with these views. Costco's about right over here. There's a 24-hour supermarket that just went in here called Soriana, and this is Walmart. The El Tizol hillside is a very well self-contained hillside with a plethora of restaurants, including a farm-to-table restaurant known as El Huerto. You will be very happy, very satisfied. You don't even really need to go into town at all. So to be able to own, now what do they tell us here on the details? What fraction do you own here? Do they tell us? We'd have to confirm. It is the only co-ownership. Okay, deeded 1/8 real estate share. So basically, you take up those 12 months, divide it up into 8. That gives you a sense of how many weeks you're going to have and enjoy that there. It is deeded club owners throughout the year, and I believe you can even trade this worldwide as well, which is a very common feature with fractional ownership programs. The Elite Alliance Exchange Program. You can go to elitealliance.com/exchange and learn a little bit more about that. Like I said, this is a very, very unique opportunity for just $159,000 to own 1/8 of 12 months. That's about 6 weeks out of the year is what you get to enjoy right there. And if you wanted to, it is on a rotating calendar. I'm fairly confident about that. If you wanted to come down at times of the year that are not scheduled for you, you can always trade with other owners within your building and have more flexibility. So that's a nice one. Again, that is not the only fractional ownership development in the Los Cabos area. There's one on a golf course. When living, we also have the Alberge Resorts. I believe offer some fractional ownership as well over in Punta Ballena. And of course, there's this one. And I believe that there is another one at the moment that I'm not mentioning. Okay, so this is on the Pacific side, Cangrejo Street. Where is this? Not 200,000. Is this the one that I think it is? Maralta. Okay, yeah. So this is just as you're entering Cabo San Lucas over by Diamante area, just after you pass Rancho San Lucas. So you're in a very nice neighborhood as far as those developments are concerned. We're talking multi-million-dollar homes, but this is just outside of that, a little higher up on the hill. Before we get into the pictures, let's go back and take a look at the maps, and I'll show you exactly where I'm talking about. All right. So as you can see right here with these golf courses, this is the Grand Somar Dunes Golf and Spa is what it says right here. This is known as Rancho San Lucas. That's a Greg Norman golf course. Over here is where you have Tiger Woods' very first golf course ever, I believe, on the planet. He also has a 9-hole executive golf course. This is inside an area called Diamante. Lots of custom homes here as well. There is a link style course. I believe that was ranked under less than the top 40 in the world, is what I'm trying to say, top 32 or something like that, 36, which is in a beautiful golf course. And I mentioned that Tiger Woods did a 9-hole executive course here, and I believe he's working on their final course, the legacy course here that's going to be built here as well. This boasts one of the largest pools in all of Mexico right here. I believe it's a 10-acre lagoon, crystal lagoon, which is quite impressive. And in between Diamante and Rancho San Lucas is coming in another luxury development with another golf course as well. And slightly up that hill, okay, right here, this is the street that leads you to Diamante. I believe they just cut a new entrance right directly through here to Diamante. But right here is where Maralta's at. This is a little bit of an old map. Let's see if we can go to Google Maps, our friendly helper here, and take a look at this one. All right, so here we go. This is where Maralta Cabo Living is at, right here. And as you can see, Casa Tranquila, this is obviously a place you can put on Airbnb. It looks like they've already are renting it out, some folks right here. There are 2 phases to it, as you can see from this image, and each one will have its own pool. As this one will have a pool, this one has a pool already, so it gives you a sense. Let's take a closer look at the details here. This is a 2-bedroom, 1 full bath, 1,000 square foot condo. Little kids play area, common area amenities where you can hang out by the pool. Obviously, with these little log boxes, that means that they do plan on renting these out. If not, these may already be on Airbnb. So that's another great topic to mention, guys. I always get asked by my clients, hey, let's get the rental history on this. I'm very, very cautious about those things. One never knows how accurate the information that the seller is giving you. They may or may not keep good records, et cetera, right? They may want to embellish them to make it look better. I don't know. I would much rather just go to Airbnb, pick the 4 seasons out of the year, pick 4 different dates from those 4 seasons, and you can start to get a real understanding of what the potential is. Remember, past history, past performance is not indicative of future performance. In that respect, maybe you're better than the last guy at doing vacation rentals. Maybe you're worse. Maybe you're not as good as the last person to do it, right? So again, it should not be the exclusive reason why you make a purchase, because keep in mind, personal use may come into play. Your equity increases here, which according to the National Institute of Statistics, INEGI, here in Mexico, they claim that it's about 9% annual equity increase per year on real estate in this state of Baja California Sur. And if you were to be very conservative after expenses, that 12% gross annual, if you're able to make that 1% per month, let's say, after expenses, and again, I'm being very conservative with a 6% net. If you could net 6% plus that 9, you're at 15% combined between equity and your vacation rentals. So again, these numbers can vary tremendously based on how you handle it and who you're working with. But yep, there you go. Just go to Airbnb, take a good look at it, and see for yourself. What do you feel you could do if it was in your hands, right? Could you do better? Let us know. Maybe you're an expert at Airbnb. Give us your tips. Make sure to write those down in the comments below if you don't mind sharing with the community. Okay, this is the Reload to Baja community that we're trying to establish here. So Cerritos, we're back at Cerritos. Let's take a look at the map where this one is located. Let's see here, go to hybrid. You probably have started to notice that it's easier for me to recognize where things are at when we have a satellite image. Okay, so yeah, again, we're basically right in the heart of Cerritos. You notice it says Shaka's right here. This is a really popular restaurant. Great bar, great food, great environment. There's a lot of expatriates, people from the States and Canada that have moved down here or are here part-time. This is one of their reunion points, places where they like to hang out at. There are a variety of other great restaurants around here as well, right in the Cerritos area. And like I mentioned earlier, tons of restaurants over here in the Pescadero area. So let's go back to this one. Not too far from the beach. You may want to drive as opposed to walk, or at least ride your bike. It's a little bit of a walk, so to speak. Let's take a look at the details. Okay, so these are renders. 2 bedrooms, 2 bath for under 200. It looks like this is under construction. I'll check to see what the days on market is. It looks like they're just on the first floor and foundations. But you're going to have some nice views. There is a lot of empty land in front. And if other developments, although it is on a little bit of an incline, it's not that steep of an incline, other condo buildings may block your view in the future. As an example, this here is 2 stories. It's got the rooftop deck here as an example. This you can see here is a little bit on a different incline, has a little grade to it. And that's 2 stories with some sort of like undercover garage thing going on right there. This looks like it's 2 stories odd or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of empty land here that obviously is owned by somebody, could be sold again, could be developed and build something just like this, and could block your view. I would encourage you, if you were my client, that if you really love this, after checking the developer, their financing, making sure that they're going to be able to deliver this product, that if you're purchasing this, you're not doing it for the view so much as you are for the location, the quality of the construction, and its amenities. That's what it comes down to. Price point, of course, is what really makes it a value if it pulls it all together under a great market price. So yeah, because the views may ultimately be lost. And that's one of the things that you're going to discover about me. If you work with me, I am Cid Chacón, your real estate Sherpa here in Baja Sur. And my goal, my duty to you is to ultimately make sure every step you take is a solid one. You decide how fast or how slow you choose to take those steps. And as I am using the Sherpa analogy or metaphor, if you choose to come down off the mountain and not go all the way to the top, that's okay. If you love my service, you like my attention, you can always give me a referral. So thank you so much for joining me again today. Stay tuned. This was a bonus episode. We weren't expecting to have so many search results between the $100,000 to $200,000 range. Our next episode is going to focus on what can we get under $300,000, that $200,000 to $300,000 price range. Join us. Take a look at that one. Let us know what your thoughts are if you have any questions, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Have a wonderful day, and thank you again for joining us here at Reload to Baja.